Gaffer, we spoke at the start of the week and we were talking about how nice it would be to get a full week on the training pitch. How much do you think you've managed to get done with the team now that you're at the end of the week now?
It's always nice to spend a week at the training ground, certainly after the disappointment of Saturday. I think it's been a tough month that the players have had. We're not making any excuses, but we've put a lot of work into the training ground and come up with the problems that didn't go so well on Saturday.
Yeah, the problems that you identified from last weekend, are you satisfied now that you've put those right, at least on the training pitch?
I think with the group that we've got, we've gained a valuable experience in the first month. I think there's been highs and lows, like any football team has to deal with. I think with the young group and the inexperience that we've got, I don't think even me as a manager or as a player, I've never experienced playing 8 games in a month. I think if we had had a good result on Saturday, I would have been pleased with the start, or at least been acceptable. But unfortunately, it's not happened that way, and it's important not to get too high and certainly don't get too low. And we've come in this week, we've worked really hard together, and when you look at it, success is no accident. I keep saying to the players, it's been hard work, and that's what our performance is reflected. Since I've been manager, unfortunately that didn't happen Saturday.
We've been talking as well though about the fact that throughout pre-season and the start of this season you had the same group of players. That's been disrupted by injuries and other things, but it's kind of the light at the end of the tunnel now. You've got Ryan Hedges and Ollie Bassett returning from international duty, and players that have been out injured starting to train again.
The squad is looking a lot stronger with the players that we got. We've had Darren Way, Josh Ezewele train today, which is good news, and they gain a wealth of experience and add to the squad. But having said that, at the same time, players know that they can't become complacent, and it's always pushing the players to make sure that they keep their shirt and not give it back to me.
And looking ahead to Saturday as well, it's the end of a run of 3 games at home for you. Will be looking to get back to winning ways.
I think it's important. You have to. I mean, every game people complained about the cup game that we had against Portsmouth, but I just want to make sure that my team's always hungry, and we've got an honest group of players that I think since I've been manager, most of my teams in every game that they've played to win, and we've never sat back behind the ball. We've always looked to score goals, and you've always got to be aware of being done on the counter-attack, and it should be an entertaining game on Saturday, and I appreciate all the supporters, the support that they've given us and given the players, because I think last month's been an amazing journey.
I'm sure some of the frustration from the fans as well is coming from, they've seen what this team can do at the start of the season, so I suppose they'll just be wanting to get back to what we saw in that opening week.
Supporters show passion, just like players, and they show frustrations. They show happiness when it's going well, and I think any manager nowadays, you have to, when you win, you accept the plaudits, and when you lose, you accept the criticism. It's my job to make sure my focus is on making sure I get the team winning again like it did in that first 2 weeks. I think players were so confident. They felt they could beat anyone, and it's shown in the performances against Notts County, Walsall and then Luton, and unfortunately it didn't go according to plan at Mansfield, and I thought we should have won at Morecambe, but we didn't. But having said that, I think there's a lot of games where, certainly at League 2, teams that deserve to win sometimes don't win, and teams that don't deserve to win. And I think that's the beauty of why certainly supporters come to watch every week, and I think it's important that they stick with us at this moment, and I'm sure with the group that we got, we'll start climbing that table soon.
And when we look at that league table, of course still early days, every team that Yeovil have played so far are in that top 10 teams, and Yeovil are one of only 2 teams not to lose to Luton this month. So when you look at it from that point of view, there's still a lot of games to play, and it's not been an easy start.
As I said, the first week was very good, and you think, oh well, it can't get any better. But with the way football is nowadays and the competition that you're up against, I think with 1 or 2 missing from the back four has disrupted that. I've never been able to play a steady back four until Lacey got thrown over the hoardings at Luton, which was disappointing. So we lost him, but with the experience that we got coming back now, it's exciting, and we need it.
It gives you some headaches as well. There's a lot of players that can play in these positions. Only 11 shirts to give out as well. It's a nice headache to have, I suppose.
As a manager, you always want a good squad to choose from, and if players are playing well, they play, and if they're not performing, 9 times out of 10 they don't play. And what I've got is I've got a group or a squad that's certainly working hard for each other to make sure that this football club climb that table.
And finally, what do you expect from Saturday's game against Hartlepool?
We played against them last year. It was Hignick's first game in charge. I think Painter, with all the experience and cleverness that he's got, he sort of manhandled a couple of our centre-halves, and it was very close, that game, and it could have gone either way, and unfortunately we gave a penalty away which changed the fortunes of the game. But they're on the back of a 6-1 defeat, and when that happens you always get a reaction, and we've got to make sure we're not on the wrong end and we're on the right end, and that our players are up for this battle, because it means a lot to me as manager, and I want to make sure it means a lot to the players, as to if we get that result, it can change the whole environment around the place.